voted against the pay package, saying Musk is, quote, an absent CEO. Calls it a nightmare for shareholders. Lose-lose situation. Ross, I've quoted you so much, I don't even know if we need you as a guest. But
well, I'm hungry for breakfast, so, you know.
I mean, you've been a big supporter in the past. What was it about this pay package that has given you such pause?
You know, it's not as much the pay package, because I did vote for it in 2018. And certainly if you look at the progress Tesla's made since then, you know, it's been a wildly successful company up until the purchase of Twitter. And so, you know, for me, it's really about the process. This is a corporate governance issue. And the reason the pay package was voted down is because the board of directors of Tesla is an absent board. They're totally negligent. They all work for Elon, and it's not an independent board as required by the exchanges. And so this company is not run correctly by the board of directors. There's nobody to blame for this mess but Elon and the process that you're supposed to go through when you get a compensation package approved by your board. They just didn't do it right. And so now we all have to suffer through this, and the amount of money is outrageous. And on top of the fact that the performance of the company has been horrendous over the last 2 years. So that's why I'm voting no. I just think that they're just creating more problems, and Elon and the board should work on a fair pay package moving forward.
Yeah, well, you cited many of the reasons that Chancellor McCormick and the Delaware Chancery Courts struck it down, saying the board was not independent. But all that said, Ross, I mean, this was something that was agreed to, that 73% of shareholders voted in favor of some 5.5, 6 years ago, and that he delivered on. So, you know, again,
That's right.
I mean, looking back, shouldn't a contract and a promise be a promise?
That is, if it was really a contract between two parties, and that's the whole point, is that wasn't. It's not a contract. It's not a deal. You know, a deal is when two individuals shake hands and negotiate. There was no negotiating process at all. There was nobody representing shareholders. For example, if somebody would have pushed back to Elon and said, you know, how about we do half this number? It would have still been an outrageously good pay package, and it would have saved shareholders maybe $25 billion. But the fact that there was no negotiation is the issue, not whether a deal is a deal. It's that he's doing a deal with himself. I'd love to go to my company and negotiate my own pay package with myself. It would be great, and I'm a privately held company. But that's not the way companies work, and you and I both know that.
Aren't you up a lot on your investment? When did you buy Tesla?
Yeah, I've made a fortune on Tesla. I bought it 10 years ago, and I was a critical supporter of Tesla in 2018. And if it weren't for investors like me and my firm and several other firms that supported Elon in 2018, Tesla wouldn't have made it, if you all recall, because you all were involved back then too. And so the bottom line is
I guess then my question would be, don't you think he's earned it?
Yeah, and I also think my investment in NVIDIA, that's done 5 times better in the same 10 years. Jensen isn't getting paid this. And just the same, Elon owned 20% of the company at that time, worth $10 billion. And he's personally benefited to the tune of $90 billion of gains. When you own your own company, you don't need compensation. You know, it's like a silly thing. And so, like, most billionaires take like $1 salary or no salary at all. I was looking at the precedent of Steve Jobs, for example. When he came back to Apple, he didn't actually own really any Apple stock. So they gave him 7.5 million share option at that time at the market. And that was his whole compensation forever at Apple. And in the end, he actually never really owned a ton of Apple. He made most of his money actually on Pixar. So, you know, when you actually look at what's the best for shareholders, I think they should have negotiated a new pay package, which I'm all for, and one that there was actually a two-party negotiation. And I do think Elon deserves some compensation for the last 5 years. That's not what I'm arguing about. What I'm arguing about is the mess they're creating for shareholders and a board of directors that sucks, to be honest. They just stink. I've never seen such a bad board. It's going to be written up in business schools for years to come to study what a horrendous board that Tesla has.